Let me ask you something. When you picture your next home, what do you actually see? Do you see the Saturday morning farmer's market, a coffee in your hand, kids running ahead of you down the sidewalk? Or do you see a quiet tree-lined street where your children can ride bikes until the sun goes down and the streetlights flicker on? Because here's the truth. Most people moving to Pittsburgh get it wrong. They think that you have to pick one or the other. Big city jobs and great schools, or peace and quiet in a yard. Safe neighborhood or affordable home. And I'm here to tell you, in Western Pennsylvania, you can really have both. Today, I'm walking you through the safest and most affordable quiet suburbs around Pittsburgh, the ones families fall in love with the second that they pull onto the street. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly which suburb fits the life that you're trying to build. Hi, I'm Diane McConaghy, your local relocation and real estate guide right here in Pittsburgh. My team and I help people relocate across Allegheny, Washington, Beaver, and Butler counties every single week. And after all these years matching families to neighborhoods, I have learned that the word safe means something different to everybody. For some of you, safe means low crime and a police force that knows your street. For others, it means strong schools, tight community, and neighbors who actually wave when you drive by. So let me give you the real picture, backed by numbers, not just feelings. According to Niche's 2026 rankings of the safest suburbs in the Pittsburgh area, the communities that consistently rank at the very top year after year are Pine Township, Franklin Park, Marshall, Fox Chapel, Aspinwall, and Peters Township. These are towns that earn top crime and safety grades while also scoring high on schools and quality of life. And here's what surprises people coming from a bigger or pricier metro. According to Redfin, the typical home across Pennsylvania sold for around $293,000 in early 26, while the entire Pittsburgh metro area sat well below that. So you're getting that big league safety without the big league price tag. One of the biggest mistakes I see relocation buyers make is treating Pittsburgh like a single market. I've had buyers tell me that they thought every suburb would feel the same, only to spend one afternoon touring and realize Cranberry, Sewickley, Peters Township, and Beaver County are completely different lifestyles. Now, here's the thing I always tell my clients. Pittsburgh is not one market. It is a patchwork of small towns, river boroughs, and rolling hill suburbs, and each one has its own personality, price point, and feel. So let me take you to the first kind of suburb, the one that families ask me about more than any other. If you have school-age children, or you're planning to, this is probably the section that you came for. North of the city in Allegheny County and brushing right up against Butler County, you'll find what I lovingly call the family haven. Think Pine Township, the heart of the Pine Richland School District. It's along the neighboring North Allegheny area towns like Marshall, McCandless, and Franklin Park. I recently worked with a family relocating from another state who had crossed Pine Township off of their list because they saw a few homes online priced over $700,000. Once we dug into what homes were actually selling for, they realized that the area offered far more options than they expected. Why do families plant roots here? It starts with the schools and spreads into everything else. These districts are some of the most respected in all of Western Pennsylvania, and you can feel it on a Friday night in the fall when the whole town shows up under the lights to cheer on the high school football team. That's not a small thing. That Friday night lights feeling, the youth sports leagues, the packed soccer fields on a Saturday morning, that is the glue that makes a place feel like home. And the green space is genuinely special. North Park is one of the largest county parks in the region, with a lake for kayaking, miles of trails for walking or biking, a swimming pool, ball fields for days. It's the kind of place where you spend a whole Saturday and never spend a dime. So let me talk dollars, because I know that's on your mind. According to Rocket Homes, using local West Penn multi-list data, the average active listing in Pine Township has been running in the range of $600,000 to $650,000 in early 2026. Now, before that number scares you off, let me explain it, because this is where a good local agent earns their keep. That figure is high because Pine has a lot of newer construction and some larger estate homes, which pull the active listings up. The typical home actually sells closer to $420,000 to $460,000. You can absolutely find well-kept family homes in the broader North Allegheny area below that, especially if you are open to a home that needs a little bit of updating. On the safety side, the reason this area tops those niche 2026 list is simple. Crimes here run far below the state average, and that peace of mind is a huge part of what your money is buying. For a buyer, here's your action step. Homes in these top districts move fast, so get your mortgage pre-approval done before you fall in love with that listing. For a seller already sitting on one of the districts, that's a strong demand, and it's your superpower, and pricing it right out of the gate is how you turn it into multiple offers. Now, let me shift you to a completely different flavor of suburb. Maybe Friday Night Lights is not your dream. Maybe what you crave is a slower, charming, almost storybook kind of life where you can walk to a bakery and the barista knows your order. If that is you, you're going to love these next two river towns, and they prove that you don't have to give up that small town soul to live minutes from a major city. First up is Sewickley. What surprises many of my clients is that Sewickley doesn't feel like a typical suburb. More than once, I've taken buyers there just to explore the area, and before the day was over, they were asking me to schedule showings because they fell in love with the village atmosphere. Sewickley is tucked along the Ohio River just northwest of downtown. Sewickley is one of those places that makes newcomers gasp a little bit. The village has a beautiful, accessible main street lined with boutiques, cafes, and restaurants, the kind of street where you park once and stroll the whole entire afternoon. According to Zillow, the typical home value in Sewickley sits right around $450,000 in 2026, but you'll see listing prices that look much, much higher than that, and here's why. Sewickley and the hills above it hold some grand historic estates that pull the listing numbers up, but that everyday family home in the village itself is much more attainable than those headline prices suggest. That gap between the splashy list prices and the typical sales price is the exact kind of thing that I help my clients see through. I can't tell you how many times buyers have told me that Oakmont feels like something out of a Hallmark movie. Between the Oakmont bakery, the Walkable business district, and the character of the homes, it tends to leave a lasting impression like Sewickley. Oakmont sits really pretty on the Allegheny River about 14 miles northeast of downtown. Oakmont has gas-lit street lamps, a red brick main street, a classic little movie theater, and of course the world-renowned Oakmont Country Club. And here's the part that buyers love. According to Zillow, the typical home value in Oakmont is around $331,000, which is up close to 2% over the past year. So you get that picture-perfect accessible downtown lifestyle at a price gentler than many people expect for a town this charming. What both of these towns share is that rare combination of character, community, and easy access to the city. You get the front porch, know your neighbors feeling, and you're still a short drive from world-class hospitals and jobs. That balance is golden, and it leads me right into something that I want to make sure that you don't miss. So let me circle back to where we started. I promised you that around Pittsburgh, you don't have to choose between safe and affordable, between quiet and connected. And look at what we've already seen. Family first districts with top schools and crime rates far below the state average, river towns with storybook main streets and homes still within reach of for normal families. But honestly, we have only scratched the surface because the very best values, the hidden gem suburbs that locals quietly snap up before anyone else notices, are still coming. Before I show you those, I want to make this easy for you. My team and I put together the ultimate Pittsburgh relocation guide, and it does the heavy lifting for you. It breaks down the best neighborhoods, the top-rated school districts, real cost of living numbers, and the things that most newcomers wish that they had known before they placed or packed a single box. It's completely free, and the link is right below this video. Grab it because the climax of this video, the hidden value suburbs, pairs perfectly with what's inside that guide. Now, let me take you to the towns that give you the most home for your money. Here's where my buyers' eyes really light up. If you want square footage, a yard, good schools, and a price that lets you breathe, you need to look south into Washington County and the South Hills. Over the years, I've noticed that Peters Township within Washington County consistently tracks buyers who are thinking long-term. They aren't just buying a house, they're choosing a community where they expect to stay for years. Let me start with the headline number. According to Redfin, the median home price in Washington County sold for about $250,000 in March of 2026, which is up roughly 6% from the year before. That's a real steady value, not a fire sale or a bubble. Now within that county sits the true crown jewel, Peters Township, which is centered around McMurray. Peters Township is one of those communities where affluent families gravitate toward for its school district, low crime, and quieter, more spread out suburban feel. According to local MLS and Rocket Homes data, the median sales price in Peters is higher and runs in the range of $450,000 to $470,000, and you can see why. The district built a brand new high school just a few years ago, and the community lives and breathes its schools and sports. If Peters Township is a little above your number, don't worry, because Washington County has more to offer. Communities like North Strabane, it's been growing fast with new construction and easy commutes back towards the city and impressively low crime rates. That's the beauty of the South Hills. You can dial the price up or down without giving up safety or schools. Some of my favorite conversations happen when first-time buyers realize that homeownership may actually be possible. I've had clients go from thinking they would rent for years to purchasing a home in Beaver County with a payment that wasn't much different than their rent. If affordability is truly your top priority, I'd point you in the direction of Beaver County. It's northwest along the river, and you'll find some of the most attainable homeownership in that entire region. According to Redfin, the median home in Beaver County sold for about $220,000 in 2026. According to Zillow, the typical home value is $204,000, which is up 5% over the past year. For a first-time buyer or an investor looking for solid rental value, Beaver County is one of the most quietly underrated corners of Western Pennsylvania. This is where renting finally turns into owning. Now, let me bring you to the suburb that may be the fastest rising star of them all. When relocation buyers call me before moving to Pittsburgh, Cranberry Township is one of the communities that comes up over and over again. It checks so many boxes for people looking for newer development, convenience, and strong amenities. It's up in Butler County, just north of the city, and Cranberry Township might be the single best example of how far Pittsburgh suburbs have actually come. Cranberry has grown from farmland into thriving modern community with shopping, restaurants, parks, and major employers, while maintaining its family-friendly suburban feel. The numbers tell the story. According to Zillow, the typical home value in Cranberry Township was around $407,000 in 2026, up about 4.5% over the past year, suggesting demand here is strong and steady, and the people moving in are doing well. According to census data, the median household income for Cranberry is north of $100,000, which speaks to the kind of stable professional community taking on safety. Butler County as a whole reports violent crime well below the national average, which is exactly why families feel comfortable letting kids ride bikes around the neighborhood here. So now you have seen the full menu, the family haven of Pine Richland and North Allegheny, the charming river towns of Sewickley and Oakmont, the hidden value of Washington County, the South Hills and Beaver County, and the rising star up in Cranberry. The question is no longer, can I find safe and affordable near Pittsburgh? You clearly can. The real question is, which lifestyle fits you? So here's my honest agent to friend advice. Get crystal clear on 3 things before you start touring homes. First, your must-have school district, because that drives both price and resale value more than anything else. Second, your true commute tolerance, because the South Hills and the North Suburbs pull you in different directions. And third, your real budget after property taxes, which vary from town to town across these counties. Nail those 3 down and finding your home gets so much faster. And that is precisely the homework that my relocation guide walks you through. Let me tie it all together. Around Pittsburgh, your money goes further and your family feels safer than in almost any major metro area in the country. If you want top schools and Friday night lights, look at Pine Richland and the North Allegheny area. If you want a charming, accessible Main Street and a slower pace, fall in love with Sewickley or Oakmont. If you want the most home for your money with great schools, head south into Peters Township and the South Hills and Beaver County. And if you want a thriving, modern suburb that has it all, point yourself north toward Cranberry. Different streets, different price tags, but each offering that rare mix of safe, quiet, and affordable that brought you to this video in the first place. Having helped hundreds of buyers and sellers throughout Western Pennsylvania, including many who purchased before ever visiting the area in person, I can tell you that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The right suburb is the one that fits your lifestyle, your commute, and your long-term goals. That is what my team and I do every single day, and we would love to help you find the street that finally feels like home. So here's your next step. First, grab the free Ultimate Pittsburgh Relocation Guide using the link below so that you have all the neighborhoods, schools, and real numbers in one place. Then, when you're ready to talk through which of these suburbs truly fits your life, your budget, and your commute, reach out to me directly. My contact information is right here under this video, and there's no pressure, just real, local help from someone who knows these towns by heart. And do not click away yet, because the perfect follow-up today is waiting for you right here on your screen. Go watch Pittsburgh, PA's most affordable and high-value neighborhoods in 2026. For first-time home buyers, it's the exact next conversation if you are ready to make your money work harder for you. I'm Diane McConaghy, your local Pittsburgh relocation and real estate guide, and I can't wait to help you find your home here. I'll see you in the next one.